Hello everyone, Fanta here, you're watching FANTAVISION, and today is another Tales from Retail, with today's topic being another viewer topic. Now this isn't a viewer story yet, like I said, I'm still going through those. I've been gone for like 3 weekends, so I've had no time to look through the countless stories you guys have sent me. Please keep sending them in, I am reading them, I'm trying to catalog them, I'm trying to pick what would be good for what week, stuff like that. And today's topic came from somebody named Serrated Wings. Thank you so much for submitting the idea. If you have any more ideas, please submit down below. And also, it's kind of a good on theme episode for today because I have been in the car for like 6 hours today. So, talking about the toll on a person after a long commute and the fact that not just after that one long commute, what the toll is from constantly having to make that drive over and over and over. And as a person who currently has about, I know this, some people are going to immediately go, it's not a big deal. It's like a 45 minute commute, sometimes an hour each way to my current job, and it sucks. It really sucks. It's, I mean, my God, you don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal, but then you think about it, and that's about an hour and 20 minutes each day that you are spending sitting there, not happy, in terrible traffic. Because when you're on your way to work, it's bad traffic. When you're coming back from work, it's bad traffic because everybody else is doing the same exact thing if you have a 9 to 5 job or 8 to 5 job like I have. So there you go. That's what you're going to be dealing with if you've got a full-time job most of the time. If it's a very, very far away job, I mean, there's not much you can do about it. You can try to leave earlier, but then you're there too early, and then it depends on how flexible your company is with hours. And over time, like I said, this kind of gets to you. Now, at my current job, I enjoy my job. So when I get there, like I just got to decompress a little bit, have a cup of coffee, wake up, check my emails, and I'm finally, I'm fine. And at the end of the day, I try to time it so I leave a little bit early, a little bit after, so it's still about a 40-minute drive, even in good traffic, but at least that's not like stop and go horrible traffic on the way back, because it just drains you. You get home and then you don't really want to do anything. And I've got so many things to do when I get home that that's not really an option. When I was working retail, that's even worse. And that's what I wanted to talk about here, is because this is Tales from Retail. A lot of people have jobs that are far away and they happen to work retail or something like that. And when you have to drive 40 minutes, even half an hour, I mean, it adds up for sure. That's still an hour out of your day every day that you work. It really grates on you, especially if the drive there was bad. And unlike my office job, or your office job if you have one, you have to then immediately deal with the general public. So, dealing with lots of people that are bad drivers, you are now dealing with lots of people with bad social skills because they're, of course, putting you down, looking at you weirdly because you work in retail. Just all of those things combined really make the job experience just awful. And that's something that was made even worse with the fact that I was normally, at my freshman year, I lived on campus, which is about 40 minutes away. So I'd drive all the way down to here at GameStop, or all the way down wherever GameStop was. Say here, like I'm at GameStop right now. I drove all the way down to GameStop, and then I'd have to drive all the way back when I went home. When I lived off campus, you think, oh, well, that's better, right? It was for the days that I didn't have to go to school, but the days I had to go to school and work, I would drive all the way down, all the way there, and then all the way home again. So it's just like stop, 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 stop. And then you're at school all day. So a lot of people are going to school and working retail at the same time. So it's like you never get a chance to really catch your breath. And that's the huge problem with having a long commute, is maybe some people can find that zen time during, traffic, but I can't. I personally can't do it. And I know I said in, I believe it was the Absolute Depression video about Walmart, how I sometimes would fantasize getting into a car accident to not have to get into work. I know that's really dark. I'm not like saying, oh, I hope I died. It's like, no, it's just like I wanted some fender bender to happen. Somebody accidentally rear-ended me. Oh, can't come into work. I got a hit. I got to deal with insurance. Ow, my neck. And those were the sort of things that were going through my head when I was driving to work. I was not in Zen mode. I was just thinking about Walmart already before I was already there. You could say, Fanta, that's just an unhealthy way to look at things. You were focusing on the negative. You're doing this, that, and the other thing. But when it boils down to it, when you work at Walmart, you can't help but think about what you're going to have to deal with when you get to Walmart, especially if most of your coworkers are awful and you know you're not working with anybody that you want to talk to or you can at least kill time with. When you're spending that 8-hour work period working with people you already don't really like, it's just awful. I mean, it takes that half hour to an hour drive that to get there. I mean, most of the time in your life, if it is your day off and you're driving out of your way 30 minutes to an hour, unless of course you live in the middle of nowhere and you have to drive 30 minutes to an hour to get to anything, if you live in town and you're driving 30 minutes to an hour, you're usually going to something fun. So even though there's that hour to 2 hour back and forth drive, it's worth it because it's something you're looking forward to. It's something you can think about on the drive there. It kind of makes the drive more enjoyable. You're just like, you're in this great mindset. You're just, oh man, I can't wait to get there. You're usually having somebody in the friend that you're talking, somebody in the car, like a friend that you're talking to, and you're just in a great mood, and you're in a great mood all the way there. You have fun, and then you come back and you're like, oh man, what a great experience. You can talk about what the experience was. You can think about the things that you just did wherever it was. But when you're driving to your retail job and it's that far, you're thinking about it the whole time. So you're miserable on the way there. You're miserable while you're there. And then you're miserable on the way back because you're just drained from all the people you dealt with. Now, GameStop wasn't as bad, I gotta say. Even though it had ridiculous expectations of numbers and, goals and customer interactions, at least I liked the people I worked with and the environment was a lot more relaxing. Even with all of that, it still was more relaxing than Walmart. Something about the lights in Walmart and just the entire atmosphere of everything, and wearing that vest really just kills your soul. Every second I wore that thing, I just wanted to rip it off and throw it in the garbage and then set said garbage on fire. I hated that vest. I cannot stress that enough. I don't think I've talked about that enough. How much I hate that Walmart vest. It just feels so demeaning. It's awful. Anyway, whereas at GameStop, at least you've got like a gaming lanyard and you've got all these pins of stuff that you enjoy. Walmart's just like this blue vest of sad. It just kind of like, it sums up your depression in this just pathetic blue. Like, it's not even like a nice blue. Like this, I like this blue. This blue's cool. Something about the Walmart, maybe I just hate the Walmart blue now. Blue's like one of my favorites. I am ranting about random stuff now. At least there's some sort of break at GameStop. You're not constantly on that on mode. You can kind of decompress, shoot the shit with coworkers, and stare at video games, or just put things away idly. There's always something you can do idly at GameStop. At Walmart, it's like, you get there, and even if it's not busy, even if there's not a lot of customers that are being terrible to you, you have to find something to do, and there's just nothing. There's so many times where there's nothing. Everything's been done because the day's been dead, and everybody else there is searching for something to do, and you just get there after this long drive. Everybody already looks miserable. When I got into GameStop, usually they weren't miserable looking. They're just like, what's up? Hey. And then we just start talking about stuff. But Walmart, they just looked like they were dead inside. And you just see all these dead faces on the way to work when you're driving in that horrible traffic. It's just the continuation of a bad mood. I feel like that's really the whole thing when it comes to a long commute, when you're going to a retail job, is this continuation of just this bad mood that just does not lift off of you until you get home. And even when you get home after, you're just like trying to decompress, but you have to go to bed soon so you can get up and go to work again. It sucked with GameStop too, and it sucks right now for my current job, but it is still infinitely times better than when it was for a retail job like Walmart. Maybe Target would be a little bit better, but it still seems like one of those jobs where you're just kind of desperate for something to do. That's the main thing that is awful about Walmart. Besides how they treat their employees like dirt, if you've got managers that are kind of on a power trip because they don't have any power at home or anywhere else in life, or just crappy coworkers in general. But the worst part was just like when there's nothing to do, but the expectations set by management is that you have to be doing something. So you get in, you're just exhausted, and then you're just beaten down by everybody else, by that manager who's just walking around. He's doing nothing but telling other people to do more things. I kind of got off track here, but the main point of this video is if you're going to work a retail job, for the love of God, try to find a local store. I don't know how Eric did that drive because he did an even crazier drive than I did. I think his must have been almost an hour. I mean, mine was close to an hour, but I'm telling you, every minute added to that drive. I mean, it's not like you're adding that minute just for that day. You're adding that for every single day that you work. I don't mind working, but I don't want to drive there. And you know what? I guess it's the same sort of thing with retail too. Maybe not so much with Walmart. I didn't even want to work when I was working at Walmart. But like I have to drive to GameStop, and it's like, oh, it's 40 minutes of just wasted time. There's nothing you can do in that. I mean, you could arguably learn a language somehow by doing like the audio learning things, but I'm not going to learn a language like that. That sounds awful. The drive is bad enough. There's nothing else you can do, though, if you think about it. I mean, I guess you could listen to audiobooks. I'm starting to listen to podcasts. It's making the drive... For some reason, podcasts make the drive a lot better. Speaking of the podcast, if you haven't checked out the Back to the Futon podcast, you definitely should. I'm telling you, if you're feeling drained, if you're feeling miserable, find somewhere closer. And I feel like that's going to be a huge turnaround in your life. You're going to have a lot more free time. Not only due to the fact that you'll be driving less, but there'll be less time feeling drained. You'll be able to recover faster after work. So thanks for watching, everyone. I know this is kind of a weird topic this week, and I kind of went on some other tangents. We'll see if I can edit together and fix it in post. And like I said, post more of your ideas down below in the comments. Leave a like if you guys liked it. Subscribe for more content. And as always, have a fantastic day. See you guys. Yeah, that was a weird episode. I don't know. I definitely was affected a lot when it comes to driving, and I feel like enough of you guys were as well, because, I mean, that comment was upvoted quite a bit. Today I'm drinking Dasani White Peach. Okay, it makes me sad to say this, but I really do like the Dasani sparkling waters. I don't want to support Coke because they're kind of terrible. I mean, they're this big corporation. I mean, what big corporation nowadays isn't evil? But, oh, the flavors are so good. I mean, I still like LaCroix more, which still has its kind of shady history if you look into it on its Wikipedia, at least by its owners or CEO, upper management. But yeah, it's delicious. Also, trying to keep a regular posting schedule. As usual, I may be shooting another podcast this weekend. I'm not quite sure what's going on with the schedule because we were kind of late, and I'm trying to catch up, and I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with the podcast. It's still going to be coming, don't worry. I'm not going to end the podcast, but more content is on the way.